You become press her in the portage. Women, again, we know about portage. Women know about carrying a family, carrying a household, carrying emotional weight, carrying secrets nobody knows, carrying disappointment, carrying finances, carrying ministries, carrying children, and carrying the load at work and at home. And still walking, still pushing, and still pressing. Portage is pressure, but it's also preparation. In honor of and obedience, I want to turn your attention to the word Philippians 3:12 through 14. The King James Version reads, "Not as though I had already attained, either were already perfect, but I follow after, if that I may apprehend that for which also I am apprehended in Christ Jesus. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind me, and reaching forward unto those things which are before, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling in Jesus Christ." The Message Bible says, "I am not saying that I have all this together, that I have it made, but I am well on my way, reaching out for Christ, who has so wonderfully reached out for me." Friends, do not get me wrong. By no means do I count myself an expert in all of this, but I have my eye on the goal, where God is beckoning us onward to Jesus. I'm off and running, and I'm not turning back. You may be seated. The theme for today is That's Press Her, H-E-R. But my subtopic is Forged by Pressure, Fueled by Faith. The scripture text, again, Philippians 3:12, Paul, who is talking, he says, he's writing to the church of Philippi from prison, not comfort. He is facing pressure, uncertainty, and suffering, yet still says, I press. The meaning of press, the Greek word is dioko, means to pursue, to chase, to run with focus in spite of resistance. The English word means to apply pressure, something to flatten, shape, or smooth, typically by ironing. If you put those together, press equals movement against pressure. Paul's message boiled down to, I am not perfect, but I haven't quit. I let go of what's behind me so I can reach what's in front of me. I don't stop until I get where God is taking me. You see, women, we understand pressure. Do we not? Pressure of physical pressure, emotional pressure, family pressure, work pressure, and spiritual pressure. If nobody else knows what it means to press, surely a woman does. Today, we're talking about the kind of woman God builds under pressure. The woman who keeps pushing when life pushes back. The woman who doesn't fold, doesn't flinch, and certainly doesn't quit. This kind of woman Paul talks about when he says, I press toward the mark. That is, press her. The woman who turns pressure into purpose and pain into power. Point number one. Two women in particular that I want to speak about from the Bible, which is Hannah and the woman with the issue of blood. Woman number one, Hannah. She represents the pressure of delay. The text, 1 Samuel chapter 1, tells us that her pressure was barren in a culture where a woman's worth was tied to motherhood, provoked and mocked by Penema, and misunderstood by her husband, misjudged by the priest. Hannah also teaches us that pressure will push you to pray differently. Your breaking point becomes your breakthrough point, and not to let people's opinions dictate your praise. And when God gives you what you have, he gives you what's next. Some of us are like Hannah, living with promises that haven't manifested, carrying dreams no one sees, and putting on a brave face while private battles, which brings me to woman number 2. The woman with the issue of blood. Now she represents the pressure of pain. Her pressure included 12 years of constant bleeding, physically weak, financially broke, and emotionally isolated. According to the law, she was unclean. And that she pressed through a crowd that she wasn't even supposed to touch. However, she teaches us that sometimes you have to press even when you're drained. Yes. Faith works even when you whisper it, if I can just touch. Your press may look different from others, but it's still faith. Yes. And that God sees the woman everyone else overlooks. This woman represents every person who has carried a long-term struggle, such as depression, sickness, financial strain, heartbreak, and even trauma, but still finds a way to press. Point number 2, press her just like Felicie from Leap. Now, I'm not sure how many of you have or take a day to watch all the animated movies on Netflix. However, I do, and I love them. But the main reason I watch them because the intention that they get, they always have teachable moments. And all those moments allow me to reflect on what it is I'm dealing with or something that I can learn. So this particular movie, again, is called Leap. The story follows a young girl named Felicie, an orphan with a dream bigger than her environment, bigger than her resources, and bigger than her reality. But watch this. Just like Hannah pressed, just like the woman with the issue of blood pressed, Felicie pressed too. She pressed past her past. She had no family home, no support, no money. People counted her out because of where she came from. But Felicie decided, my past will not define my future. My disadvantages will not cancel my destiny. And some of you are living in that right now. Pressing past people who think they know your limit because they think they know your story. But what God is birthing in you has nothing to do with where you started. She pressed through rejection. Felicie auditioned and failed. She failed literally and emotionally. She was told she wasn't good enough, not talented enough, and not qualified enough. But hear me, she pressed anyway. She kept practicing, kept failing, kept falling, kept trying, and kept reaching. And every time life said stop, she said, no, I'm going to press. But just like Paul, just like press her, the woman you are, she pressed through comparison. There was a girl named Camille who had a pedigree, technique, and the privilege. But Felicie had heart, hunger, and hope. She learned that it's not about being better than her. It's about becoming the best version of you. Some of you are in your Felicie season right now. God is teaching you that your press is more powerful than someone else's advantage. However, she pressed until her dream became reality. In the movie's final moment, Felicie gives the performance of her life. Not because everything was easy, but because everything was pressure. She danced with pain. She danced with determination. She danced with purpose. She danced with press. And that's what God is calling the women in this room and on this live to do today. Move under pressure, live under pressure, stand under pressure, and still press your way into purpose. Felicie shows us that you can come from nothing and still become something. That's right. You can press more powerful than your circumstances. Yes. Purpose always requires pressure. And when God puts something in your heart, nobody can take it out. She is the cinematic picture of Philippians 3 and 14. She pressed through toward the mark. She pressed through obstacles. She pressed through insecurities. She pressed through rejection, and that pressed her. Just like Hannah, just like the woman with the issue of blood, and just like you. Point number 3, the portage principle. Carrying what should have broken you. There's a word that many people don't often use, which is portage. Portage is a term used in hiking and canoeing. It means carrying something heavy on your back through difficult terrain to get to a place you cannot reach unless you carry it. The canoe cannot float on land, so the traveler must carry what normally carries them. Isn't that just like life? There are seasons when the thing that used to carry you, the thing that used to support you, the thing that used to hold you up, can't even carry you right now. So you end up portaging, carrying weight you weren't expecting, lifting burdens you didn't choose, walking uphill with responsibilities that were never supposed to be this heavy. But hear me again. What you carry in your portage season doesn't break you. It builds you. It forges you. It strengthens you, and it prepares you. You become press her in the portage. Women, again, we know about portage. Women know about carrying a family, carrying a household, carrying emotional weight, carrying secrets nobody knows, carrying disappointment, carrying finances, carrying ministries, carrying children, and carrying the load at work and at home. And still walking, still pushing, and still pressing. Portage is pressure, but it's also preparation. When you portage, your back gets stronger, your legs get stronger, your endurance increases, your confidence grows, you learn balance, and you learn resilience. You learn to carry what once crushed you. And just like the hiker reaches new waters because they carried the weight, you will reach new levels because of the pressure you carried. In my mini closing, so if you feel heavy, if you feel tired, if you feel like you've been carrying things uphill, you're not breaking, you're not falling, you're not losing, you're in a portage season. The season where God strengthens you so you can reach waters you've never sailed before. Look over and tell y'all neighbor, okay, I'm carrying it, but it's carrying me into my next level. As I inch closer to my closing, there are three principles. There are three principles to press her. Principle number one, press through what tries to paralyze you. Paul said, forgetting those things which are behind, which is release guilt, release shame, release past the mistakes, release what didn't work, because you can press forward you cannot press forward holding on to backwards. Principle number two, press past limits other people put on you. Paul said, not that I have already attained, which means you don't need perfection, you need persistence. God uses the willingly, not the flawless. Imperfect women with perfect faith can change the world. Principle number three, press toward purpose, not people. Paul said, press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling, which means stop chasing validation, stop chasing approval, stop chasing applause. Pressing toward purpose sometimes means disappointing people. And finally, in my closing, so whether you see yourself in Hannah, whether you see yourself in the woman with the issue of blood, or whether you see yourself in little Felicie from Leap, the girl who refused to give up on her dream, the message is all the same. Pressure doesn't break you. Pressure builds you. It births you. It prepares you. It reveals you. Pressure makes you press. And press her woman is not made in comfort. She's forged in pressure. Pressure shapes her. It molds her. It strengthens her. And while pressure forges her, it is faith that fuels her. Faith keeps her moving. Faith keeps her pressing. Faith keeps her believing when everything around her says to quit. And that's why we must declare today that pressure, that's pressure because I am press her, healed, endured, and resilient. May this word sit with you, reshape you, and remind you of where you are in God.